A group of people found themselves trapped on ships that got stuck in the icy waters of the snowy Arctic.
You do know that no one is coming to get you.
I know.
Don't you?
I know.
The film begins on Christmas Eve 1909 aboard the ship Alabama in the northeastern part of Greenland. We meet Captain Einar Mikkelsen, who proposes a toast to the members of his group in memory of the unsuccessful Danish expedition. Meanwhile, Americans claim the upper part of Greenland, separated by a channel known as the Peary Channel, whose existence has yet to be proven. In 1907, a Danish expedition set out to explore these uncharted lands to confirm or refute the Americans' theory but never returned from the expedition. Now, Captain Mikkelsen is determined to finish what the Danish started and prevent the Americans from seizing part of Greenland. Despite the setbacks of Mikkelsen's initial search expedition, during which one of the participants named Christian Jorgensen lost his toe due to frostbite, the captain urges the team not to give up. Mikkelsen comes into possession of a diary from one of the members of the Danish expedition and a map on which their leader left notes about an unknown land. He emphasizes the importance of these discoveries to the team and announces his intention to embark on a new expedition.
What?
Another?
He is determined to cross the glacier at any cost and locate a cairn, a stack of stones, where the notes of other missing explorers are hidden. Without this information, the northern part of Greenland could fall into American hands. Mikkelsen wants one of his comrades to join him on this perilous journey, but no one is willing to risk their life. The following morning, the men discuss the captain's daring plan, and unexpectedly, the youngest and most inexperienced mechanic named Ivar Iversen, who joined the team in Reykjavik due to a ship malfunction, volunteers to accompany him. However, the captain doubts Iversen's suitability because he lacks experience in such challenging expeditions. Later, Mikkelsen and Jorgensen discuss the upcoming journey. Jorgensen feels guilty for not being able to join the captain and suggests abandoning the expedition, deeming it too risky to rely on inexperienced Iversen. He also reminds the captain of his girlfriend Naja, who awaits his return and does not want to lose him. However, Mikkelsen remains determined and instructs them to return home without them if they fail to return by August. In March, Mikkelsen and Iversen finally embark on their journey with 2 dog sleds. They soon encounter a hill they must ascend using the shortest route. After overcoming the difficult climb, they press on and set up a tent for the night. Iversen begins reading one of Mikkelsen's articles about the machinery used by the Danish expedition. He is deeply impressed by the opportunity to be in the company of such a respected captain. Iversen then requests to let his favorite dog, Bjorn, into the tent, but Mikkelsen does not respond to his request. On the 26th day of the expedition, they reach the place where the researchers lost their way. As evening falls, a severe snowstorm hits, forcing them to seek shelter in the tent once again. After some time, Iversen asks Mikkelsen for his thoughts on what happened to the Danish expedition. The captain recounts that their leader, Ludwig Mulius Eriksson, was his friend and an exceptional explorer. However, they only found the body of one expedition member, and the fate of the others remains unknown.
Imagine dying like that, alone in this place.
The following day, Mikkelsen dampens the sledges with water to form a thin layer of ice, enhancing their glide over the snow. However, Iversen soon loses control, and the sledges, along with the speeding dogs, plummet into a ravine. While most dogs manage to save themselves, Bjorn dangles perilously over the abyss. Despite Iversen's attempts to rescue him, he loses both the dog and valuable supplies, including a 2-week provision of dog food, half the tea supply, and a jar of paraffin. Mikkelsen's frustration with Iversen is palpable. He blames Iversen's emotional lapse for the predicament but asserts it won't hinder their journey. 48 days into the expedition, during a break, Iversen questions Mikkelsen about his relentless pursuit of perilous journeys, which causes distress to his loved ones. Mikkelsen insists that his focus is solely on the task at hand, considering it the essence of his existence. Yet, at night, he dreams of his beloved Naja by his side. Pressing onward, the explorers realize they've depleted their dog food reserves. Forced into a grim decision, Iversen reluctantly puts down the weakest dog to sustain the others. On the 84th day, as their supplies dwindle, Iversen's despair is palpable. However, Mikkelsen remains resolute, promising a return to the Alabama by August. Their spirits buoyed, they stumble upon the long-awaited cairn. Nearby, signs of previous explorers and meager provisions give hope. Mikkelsen uncovers a capsule containing a message from Mulius Eriksson, revealing that the Peary Channel is non-existent.
Greenland is won. The USA has no claim here.
Now faced with the task of returning home and documenting their expedition's findings, the partners confront a new set of challenges. On the 132nd day, they find themselves ensnared in another snowstorm. Tragically, one of their dogs succumbs to the strain and perishes. Iversen proposes cooking its liver for sustenance, but Mikkelsen warns against it, fearing potential toxicity due to the dog's extreme exhaustion. Despite the risk, hunger drives them to consume the liver, leading to severe bouts of vomiting. In a bid to secure sustenance, Iversen sets out to hunt a seal. However, the dog's barking disrupts his efforts, causing the seal to evade capture. Amidst the commotion, Everson rushes to Mickelson's aid, only to discover him fending off a polar bear. In a desperate bid to save the captain, Everson shoots the bear, inadvertently causing it to plummet into the water, dragging them both down. Thankfully, Everson manages to rescue Mikkelsen, but the encounter costs them 2 of their remaining 3 dogs. Morning brings further sorrow as they find their last dog has also perished. Emerging from their tent, Everson witnesses Mikkelsen burning their sledges, opting for a lighter load to cover the remaining 200 miles to the ship. On the 164th day, Mikkelsen and Everson press on foot, carrying only the most essential supplies. The frozen river they traversed at the journey's outset now nears thawing. Doubt creeps into Mikkelsen's mind regarding the expedition's success, prompting him to suggest erecting a cairn to safeguard their maps and diaries as evidence.
You don't think we can make it, do you?
If we don't, we lose everything.
Struggling to reach the opposite shore, the partners spot the mast of the Alabama ahead. However, their relief turns to despair as they discover the ship wrecked, its remnants repurposed into a makeshift cairn. Their attempts to locate crew members yield no results, they've been abandoned. In a subsequent meeting, expedition members recount to the ministers the ship's demise due to ice, their subsequent rescue by whalers, and the decision to leave Mikkelsen and Everson with provisions for a year. They request funding for a new rescue mission. Minister Niels Neergaard hesitates to allocate funds, citing Mikkelsen's partnership with the inexperienced mechanic Everson, who wasn't part of the original crew, further dimming hopes for rescue. Meanwhile, on the 242nd day of their expedition, Mikkelsen and Everson find themselves holed up in the hut, surrounded by supplies. Everson grapples with the betrayal of their fellow team members, feeling abandoned and disheartened. But Mikkelsen assures him that everything will be fine, trusting that a passing ship will surely spot them. One night, Mikkelsen dreams of a bear tearing apart their cairn, scattering documents. He awakens, urging Everson to retrieve the papers. Reluctantly, Everson agrees, suggesting leaving a note. Mikkelsen dismisses the idea, believing they'll return swiftly and remain undiscovered. On the 439th day, they find the cairn dismantled but the documents intact, a small victory in their arduous ordeal.
They say there's truth in every dream, Iverson. They say there's truth in every dream.
On the 471st day, they finally reach the hut, only to find the door ajar, indicating someone else's presence. A note on the table reveals that rescuers had been there on July 23, 1911. Mikkelsen, consumed by regret for ignoring Everson's warning, vents his frustration by destroying their only sledges in a fit of rage. Meanwhile, Jorgensen updates Minister Neergaard, emphasizing that while the sailor found the hut empty, the nailed door suggests recent occupation, offering a glimmer of hope. Despite Jorgensen's pleas and the looming risk of losing the explorers and Greenland itself, the minister remains steadfast in his decision not to dispatch another rescue ship. In the hut, the weary partners mark nearly 3 years in Greenland, observing their second Christmas. Fatigue takes its toll, triggering mental strain. Over dinner, Everson's declaration about distinguishing between human and animal hands underscores their deteriorating mental state. The 793rd day dawns, bringing intensified hallucinations. Mikkelsen, in a desperate vision, believes he sees an approaching air balloon and clambers up the mast to signal for help. Amidst the delusion, he spots Naya, his faithful companion, seemingly flying towards him on the balloon.
I just missed you so much.
The serene atmosphere is shattered when Everson interrupts Mikkelsen's reverie, urging him to return to the hut due to the biting cold outside. Despite this interruption, Mikkelsen finds solace in the constant presence of Naya, engaging in conversations and sharing his experiences with her. As their interactions deepen, Everson broaches the topic of ghosts one day, recounting a sighting of his own deceased grandfather atop a nearby hill. This prompts a discussion between the two companions, with Mikkelsen staunchly denying the existence of ghosts while simultaneously clinging to the hope that Naya, who he constantly gazes at, might still be with him in spirit. The imaginary Naya reproaches Mikkelsen for embarking on their journey without considering her feelings, as they had planned to marry. Despite Mikkelsen's attempts to justify his actions, Naya's presence serves as a haunting reminder of his perceived betrayal. As Mikkelsen's grip on reality begins to slip, a confrontation ensues when Everson innocently describes a dream about a beautiful girl, stoking Mikkelsen's jealousy and paranoia. Convinced that Naya has betrayed him with his companion, Mikkelsen reaches for a gun with intentions to harm. Thankfully, with the combined efforts of Everson and the apparition of Naya, they manage to dispel Mikkelsen's delusions and prevent a tragic outcome. As Mikkelsen confronts the reality of his actions, Everson cautiously disarms him, wary of the captain's fragile state. Suddenly, heavy footsteps reverberate outside the window, and then it turns out that a polar bear is attempting to attack the hut. Mikkelsen wants to shoot the predator, but Everson informs him that he hid the gun in the pantry outside the dwelling. The men rush to the door, preventing the bear from getting inside, and then start shouting, which surprisingly helps to scare off the animal. With the weight of 865 days in Greenland bearing down on them, The men find themselves abruptly roused by suspicious rustling once more. Bracing for another encounter with the relentless polar bear, they seize the gun and bolt outside, voices raised in alarm. However, disbelief washes over them as they are met not by the looming threat of the bear, but by a group of rescuers led by Jorgensen.
It's okay. You're going home now.
Upon their return to Denmark, the explorers were hailed as heroes for successfully delivering crucial documents intact and unharmed. Minister Neergaard formally introduced the renowned explorers during a grand reception, where Everson revealed the tragic sinking of the Titanic, the very ship he had aspired to work on. Expressing his gratitude for his fortunate life, Everson's sentiment was echoed by Mikkelsen, who acknowledged the invaluable support of his partner. In a significant announcement, the minister declared to the nation that, thanks to the documents acquired during the expedition, America had officially recognized Greenland as a singular island under Danish sovereignty. Amidst the anticipation of taking the stage, Mikkelsen glimpsed Naja behind the curtains. Overwhelmed with the fear of another hallucination, he sought reassurance from Everson, confirming the presence of the woman before him. Their reunion marked a return to reality, prompting Mikkelsen and Everson to grace the stage amidst resounding applause from the audience. In the epilogue, it is revealed that Einar Mikkelsen and Naja Holm married a year later, while the captain continued his exploratory endeavors in Greenland. Ivar Everson, though never venturing back to the Arctic, maintained a lifelong friendship with Mikkelsen. Would you agree to embark on such a journey, knowing that you might not return? Share your thoughts in the comments below, hit the like button, and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next videos.